In this video, I'm going to show you how to simplify radicals by using the power of a product with rational exponents. For our first problem, we have what is the square root of 144, a to the 14th power, b to the 16th power, and c to the 4th power. There's three main parts that you need to know about simplifying a radical before you start to try to solve. First, this invisible number right here is called the index number. It can be any number in the world, but when there is no number shown, it is always assumed to be a 2. Second, this sign is called a radical sign. When you see it, it means that you're solving or trying to simplify radicals. This number, along with its variables and exponents, is called the radicand. So, first things first, you always find your radical sign first. So, your square root of 144 is 12. Then you go and move on to your exponents and variables. Depending on what your index number is, will be what you divide these exponents by. Our index number in this problem is 2, so you would say 14 divided by 2 gives you 7. 16 divided by 2 is 8, and 4 divided by 2 is 2. So your answer is 12, a to the 7th power, b to the 8th power, and c squared. This next problem is very similar. We just have one more add-on. So you would solve it just like you saw the problem above. What is the square root of 81? The square root of 81 is 9. Then you would do, because there's no index number, it is assumed to be 2. So 8 divided by 2, x to the 4th power. 4 divided by 2, y squared. And z divided by 2 is 1, so we just are left with z. Now, in front of this radical sign, we have a big negative 5. This means we are going to multiply negative 5 to the square root of 81, x to the 8th power, y to the 4th power, and z to the 2nd power. We've simplified the radical sign and we've gotten this answer. So now we do multiply it by negative 5, which gives us negative 5 times 9, which is negative 45. And then since we can't distribute this 5 into any of our variables, we just bring our variables up here, and our answer is negative 45, x to the 4th power, y to the 2nd power, and z. As I showed you on problem 1 on the last page, the answer to the square root of 144, a to the 14th power, b to the 16th power, c to the 4th power, is 12, a to the 7th power, b to the 8th, c squared. But there are different ways that you can find this answer. So the title of this video is going to be examples of rewriting radicals in different ways. So the way I chose to do it is 2a squared bc multiplied by 6 a to the 5th power, b to the 7th power, c. Now, there are many different ways to get this answer, but this is just the way that I chose how to do it. What I'm going to do is distribute my like terms first. So 2 times 6 is 12. A squared times a to the 5th power is a to the 7th power. When we're multiplying, our exponents are added together. So 2 plus 5 gives you 7. B plus b to the 7th power equals b to the 8th power. When there is no exponent above, you can always assume it can always be assumed to be 1. So 1 plus 7 is 8. C times c is c squared. 1 plus 1 is 2. Just like problem 2 on the last page, negative 5 times the square root of 81, x to the 8th power, y to the 4th power, z squared, equals negative 45, x to the 4th power, y to the 2nd power, z. There is another way to get this answer, and this is the way that I chose to solve for it. a monomial times a monomial. I said negative 5 x squared y times 9 x squared y z. So just like in the last problem I showed you, we're going to combine like terms. Negative 5 times 9 is negative 45. X squared times x squared gives us x to the 4th power. Y times y gives us x squared. And z times nothing is z. And our answer is negative 45, x to the 4th power, y squared, z. And that is how you simplify radicals using power of a product with rational exponents.